Let's look today at a somewhat unusual Gideon Bible. Hello everyone. I was at a local flea market today with my family, as we sometimes do on Saturday mornings, and I came upon this Gideon's Bible, which is unusual because it comes in the American Standard Version. I believe this is the only American Standard Bible I currently own. You can see here it says Nelson Holy Bible. It's a cloth overboard. No gilding. Obviously has seen some use over its long life. Now, when was this Bible printed? First of all, let's compare it with this other unique Gideon I found on Facebook Marketplace. That one's 5.5 by 8.25, roughly. And this is a King James, as most Gideon Bibles, that are more than 30 or 40 years old are. This one is 5 by 7.25, a little bit smaller. Set this King James aside for a moment. There's a date inside this Bible, but it is the copyright date, I believe, for the American Standard Version, 1901. And on the title page here, being the version set forth AD 1611, compared with the most ancient authorities, and revised AD 1881 to 1885. So this is the Americanized version of the revised version, which was produced in England a short time prior to this. Copyright 1901 by Thomas Nelson and Sons to ensure purity of text. Norwood Press, Berwick and Smith Company, Norwood, Mass., USA. There is no other date that I could find. However, 1901 is a little bit early for when this book would have been produced, simply because the Gideons were not placing Bibles until 1908, if I understand their website's history correctly. So this would have been produced sometime 1908 or later. There is some information about the Gideons here on the front that you can pause and look at. There's an address penciled in, 308 Columbia Street, possibly, or Columbus Street. And I don't know if that is DET, Detroit. I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to look and see if I find a corresponding street address to see where this might have come from. The binding is stressed and coming apart a bit there. There are no extras in this Bible apart from the preface to the authorized version, or the American Standard Version, not the epistle dedicatory of the 1611 authorized version of the Bible. Table of contents, and then Genesis. It is in 2-column format, no references. Very minimal notes at the bottom. There are a couple places where the binding is beginning to crack a bit. So sometime after 1908, don't know exactly when this was produced, but based on its condition and appearance, I would say not long after 1908. Some of the Thomas Nelson editions of the American Standard Version included the books of the Apocrypha, as Protestants tend to call them. However, as this is a Gideon produced volume, it is without that, and I would have been surprised to find it, as the Gideons is a decidedly Protestant organization and wouldn't have included that. I don't know what font they're using here, but it is very pleasing to read. At the end of the Bible, there is absolutely nothing apart from an end paper. So we have Revelation 22:21, and then nothing beyond. One very distinctive feature of the American Standard Version, which was not part of the authorized version before it, and not in the New American Standard Bible or most other significant translations of the Bible. And you'll see it best illustrated if you come to a familiar psalm, Psalm 95, the invitatory psalm in morning and evening prayer in the Anglican daily office. O come, let us sing unto Jehovah. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. For Jehovah is a great God, and a great King above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. The heights of the mountains are his also. The sea is his, and he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before Jehovah our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, oh, that ye would hear his voice. Harden not your heart, as at Meribah, as in the day of Massah in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long was I grieved with that generation, and said, It is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. Wherefore I swear in my wrath that they should not enter into my rest. You'll notice a lot of Jehovah's, where in the authorized version and in the Coverdale Psalter of the prayer book, you would not find Jehovah. You would find, O come, let us sing unto the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. So in the numerous places where the authorized version and most modern translations use the Lord in small caps, usually, in this edition they have chosen to use Jehovah, so not Yahweh, but Jehovah, which is a name that is used in the authorized version, but only a handful of times. Most of the time they use the small caps, the Lord. I thought that was interesting that seemingly on every page you find the word, the name Jehovah. Pages you can see are yellowed from age and oxidation. But something I thought worth adding to my collection, while we have this other edition nearby, let's just compare the typeface. The paper seems to be a little higher quality in this King James version. Also a Thomas Nelson edition of the Bible. This one also I was not able to date. As there is not enough information here to do so. This is self-pronouncing. The American Standard Version is not, which I prefer as a more modern typeface. So there you go. The American Standard Version, the first that I own, as far as I can recall. I suppose it's a bad sign when I I'm allowing for the fact that I may have a Bible of which I am unaware. And its closely related cousin. Found on Facebook Marketplace, found at a local flea market. They likely will both stay in my collection. Thanks for watching this review today. Hope to see you here again next time.